So here we are, January 10th, not so deep into the year that it's not too late to be like, okay, there's some things that I want to do in a new year to get myself in better shape. And we're not talking about all the usual stuff, like working out or eating well. I mean, probably should be doing that, at any point in time in the year. We're talking, of course, about financial things that you can do to sort of get yourself in a little bit better shape. We talked a little bit about this on the program last week or a couple of weeks ago, but we wanted to kind of spend some time in this segment to really focus on some of the things that we think are so important to do, whether it's January or whether it's February or whenever it is during the year. These are some of the things that you've really got to dial in to make sure that you have the best possible financial future. So welcome back to Dollars and Cents, where we help you make sense out of all of life's decisions involving your dollars. We're Central Florida's longest running radio program, coming to you here on News Radio WFLA Orlando, along with 96.9 The Game. Our program also happens to be one of the top 25 financial planning podcasts on the World Wide Web, so be sure and check us out there. My name is Joel Garris. I'm a certified financial planner, certified financial fiduciary with Nelson Financial Planning, where our team of certified financial fiduciaries stands ready this week to help you change your life with a successful and cost-effective retirement plan that will provide you superior investment results and peace of mind for the future. So let's begin on the list of things to do now to help improve your finances. Always good to kind of do that at the beginning of the year, but good to do that no matter when during the year. And first and foremost, it's increase your contributions to your employer plan. Increase? Well, wait a minute, Joel, I haven't even started. Well, then start it. Start it now. The reality is that generally here at the beginning of the year is where you would typically get your pay increase. Maybe you got a little bit of a bump in pay. Maybe it was just a little inflation adjustment, whatever the case may be. Now here at the start of the year, you may see that your paycheck bumps up a little bit. Don't get used to that. Take that increase and use that to start or increase the amount of contribution that you're making to your employer plan. Some pretty powerful stuff that ultimately, if you use that pay increase, you don't necessarily see it within your paycheck. So we certainly want to encourage people to increase or start those contributions for their future. The easiest way to do it, if your employer has a plan at work, that's super easy to do it. Just take it right out of your paycheck. If they don't, then you can set up an individual retirement account. Easy to do, just Google it. You'll find a gazillion different ways in which to do it. The reality is that if your employer doesn't have one, then you can certainly set one up for yourself pretty easily. Next up is something that I think is always important, and that's track your expenses, right? That's the best way to figure out how you're spending money. It's also the best way to figure out, okay, how can I change my behavior to help improve my finances and my future? So bottom line, by tracking things, you find out where it's going, and ultimately that gives you some insight into how to improve things. Today's world, super easy to do that, right? We've all got these, fancy phones that are basically computers in our pockets, and there's these things called apps, right? And so you can download an app like Mint or something like that ultimately gives you the capability to track those expenses on a regular basis. Don't delay on that. Get started on that immediately. Number 3, and this is one that we always like to talk about, confirm those beneficiaries, right? Good start of the year, good time to confirm the beneficiaries. Remember, whoever you name as beneficiaries on an account will in fact get that account no matter what your will says. Common misconception, oh, well, if my will says this, then I'm going to be fine. No, not at all. You've got to confirm the beneficiaries on your account. Whoever is named is who's going to get it regardless of what the will says. So whether that's life insurance, retirement accounts, 401k, whatever the case may be, those types of accounts generally have named beneficiaries on it. So make sure you check those. We certainly wouldn't want an X or worse on an account and getting money that you really don't want them to get. So make sure you check that out. Number 4 on this sort of list is refinance your debt. We've talked about this in the past, but I don't think we can underscore just how low rates are. At the end of 2020, The average 30-year fixed rate mortgage in America, the interest rate, 2.76%. That's just unbelievable. 2.76% is the average rate on a 30-year fixed rate mortgage in America at the close of 2020. That is an opportunity for you to try and reduce your expenses in that way. Remember, how much you pay in interest is the cost of the loan. So the lower the interest, the lower the cost, the more money you save. So make sure you take this as an opportunity to really try and take advantage of those lower rates, whether it's on your mortgage, your car loan, whatever the case may be, even your credit cards, may be able to get them to reduce those rates. So make sure you're taking advantage of those historically low interest rates. And if you're doing a refinance, make sure you do the fixed option. Don't do an ARM where it's only set for a certain period of time. Much better off to just do that fixed rate, because you're just not going to get interest rates much lower than where they are now. We are clearly at historical lows in terms of interest rates. Speaking of debt, another great strategy in any year is to try and pay down or eliminate your debt by tracking expenses. Maybe you're able to find some money that you can put towards debt and to try and eliminate that. When you're trying to eliminate debt, we encourage you to sit down. Take a piece of paper, take a pen, and take your statements. Come up with the amount that you owe, come up with the monthly payment that you're having to make, and come up with the interest rate. From there, you sort of create a little mini spreadsheet of what the overall picture looks like. We're fans of trying to tackle the thing with the highest interest rate first, because that's where the cost is. Higher interest rate, higher cost. So really try and focus your energies there, but really take a look at putting that spreadsheet, putting that information together to be able to have a better idea on the debt side. Build an emergency fund. We've talked about that before. Even as little as $2,500 in an emergency fund makes a huge difference. And then might as well check your credit score, right? If we're talking about debt and better interest rates, you got to have a good credit score to get that. So make sure you check your credit score and try and improve it here in the year 2021. So those are just some things to be working on and work on at any point in time, but the start of the year always gives us an opportunity to say, hey, we're going to try a fresh start and a fresh tackle. These are some of the things that are most important for your finances. With that, we'll get on out of here. Thanks for listening on to the program here on Dollars and Cents. This is Joel Garris, News Radio, WFLA, Orlando.